Okay, hi everybody, and now I am coming to you with the um, little mini lecture on using Gustar. So, Gustar, and you'll want to record this in your notes. Gustar as a verb, we often translate it to mean I like, but what it actually means is to be pleasing to. Okay, and so in the sentence, me gusta el perro, we'll say I like the dog, me gusta el perro. What is pleasing? What is doing the pleasing? Well, it's el perro, okay? That is the subject. That el perro is what we are conjugating the verb for. The dog is pleasing, and then we can use this part over here to say to, this part tells us to whom, or whom is being pleased. Sorry, we'll say who is being pleased, okay? So the first thing you need to know is how to read a sentence like this, how to understand what's happening. So, me gusta el perro, the dog, is pleasing to me, okay? If you remember, in our gustar is an AR verb, right? And if you don't remember the AR verb endings, you can look up the resources on the classroom that say understanding verbs. But AR verb endings are o, as, a, amos, ice, and an. And so the way that we conjugate a verb, let me get a different color here, is if the verb is gustar, that's in the infinitive, and it means to be pleasing to. Before we can conjugate it, the first thing we have to do is find the stem. We find the stem of a verb by getting rid of those last two letters. And then what's left, that's our stem. So in the case of gustar, the stem is gust, okay? And so then what we do is we plug it into the ending. So we put gust here. So we end up with gusto and gustas and gusta and gustamos and gustais and gustan. Okay, so those are all the forms of gustar. Try not to let the colors confuse you. I just wrote them in different colors so you could recognize that the stem stays the same and the endings change when we conjugate a verb. So if you watched the video on subject pronouns, then you will know that this is the first person singular. So that's I. So if I was saying I am pleasing, I would say gusto. Second person, you gustas. But because the verb gustar functions a little differently than regular verbs, and it's not actually, I am not the one doing the action, or you, or he, or she, what is doing the action is the subject of the sentence, we never end up using any forms of gustar except for, let me get my pen here, except for the third person singular and plural. We never use those forms. So if you've written them in your notes, you can just draw an X through them. We only ever say gusta or gustan. And I'm going to explain why. If you need more time to copy what's on the screen here, just pause here because I'm going to wipe it clean and keep going. Okay, so why do we only ever use gusta or gustan? Because we only ever have singular or plural subjects that are pleasing to us, right? So I might say, me gusta el perro. I like the dog, okay? I like the dog, or it literally says the dog is pleasing to me, although we often just translate it as I like the dog. But if there was more than one dog, I would say me gustan los perros. So two things have changed here. Okay, two things have changed. Perros has become plural by adding an S, which means that we had to change the article as well to become a plural article. And in the original sentence, perro was singular, and so was the article. If you don't know what I mean about articles, there are resources in the classroom, and I think I'll probably go ahead and record a mini lecture about articles as well. Okay, so we only ever say me gusta or me gustan if we're talking about ourselves, something that is pleasing to us. But remember, we can also change this me part, right? So if I want to say you like dogs, I would write te gusta el perro, you like the dog, or te gustan los perros, you like dogs. Okay, that's the second person singular form. But what if I wanted to say he likes the dogs, or she likes the dogs, or you formal like the dogs? In other words, what if I wanted to use the third person singular? I would say le gusta el perro, or le gustan los perros. All right, and remember that le can mean he or she or you in the formal tone, okay? So le can be any of those things. It's the third person singular. Now, just like that, let's say that I want to not only change gusta to become gustan to match los perros, let's say I want to change le to be plural as well, so that instead of saying he likes the dogs or she likes the dogs, I want to say they like the dogs. Well, in that case, I have to change the pronoun in front to be les gustan los perros. And when I do that, the les reflects they or you all. If you remember, we've talked about the this little T-chart here, right? We use it for a lot of things. We can use it for these pronouns. So we've got me in the first person singular, te in the second person singular, le for the third person singular, nos for the first person plural, os for the second person plural, and les. So it can be a little confusing when you are working with Gustar, because you have to remember that Gustar, let me get a different color here. The Gustar part, that has to match with what is doing the pleasing, okay? That has to match this. So it has to be singular when it's singular, plural when it's plural. And this part right here, the part that tells us who is being pleased, that comes from our pronouns, and it doesn't match anything else in the sentence. Usually the pronoun has to match the verb, right? What comes in front. Like if we were to say, yo hablo español, right? If we were gonna say, I speak Spanish, the yo matches the verb. The subject matches the verb. But with Gustar, it's a little bit different, and this video is just a little explanation of why. There are more resources in the Google Classroom if you still need help, and you can always ask me a question in the comments section or send me a message in OutSchool, and I would be happy to explain it further or help you understand it in a better way. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in class next time. Bye-bye.